This news is going to kill me. This one getting kidnapped, this one getting stabbed up, this one getting murdered, this one getting beat up for $13, another person getting beat up for their cell phone. What the hell is going on? This is insanity. I don't understand how people can keep going. How do you keep going? All this crazy shit happening, it's, you be thinking, you love your life, and you don't want to, end up in a bad place. But on the other hand, how much worse can it be? I mean, look at what's going on. No weapons discovered, no bad guys nowhere. Going around shooting people and killing people, and you don't even know from them for days. And then all of a sudden the smell from under the door in the apartment sets off the alarms that people, are actually dead in those apartments, and they have to go in and tear the door down and discover that these people have been dead for days. And it's just, I just can't take it. I grew up in projects. And I know what it is. And it is not cute. And, all it takes is one knucklehead gangster, drug dealer, with a gun, ruin your whole night. And, there are hundreds of them up and down the streets at any given moment. Upset because he didn't sell all his cocaine or all his drugs, and decides he wants to take it out on you. I mean, these neighborhoods are a symptom of a bigger, illness in our society. And it's where I came from, so I know what that is. And I hope to never ever have to go back, because it will be a very sad day for me to end up in that situation. Therefore, by the grace of God, go I. But Israel and Palestinians, Israelis and Palestinians going at it. Tomorrow they're going to go at it. For years, forever, for millennia, they're going to go at it. So many theories, so many stories. I heard a story once, so it's interesting, that actually the children of Abel, or the children of Abel were the Israelites, and the children of Cain were the Palestinians. That's the story that they've been peddling around. But that's if you believe in the Bible and the creationism, that, out of two people, we got all the billions and billions of people that we have. It's, kind of unbelievable. But that's what we were taught to believe. And it's, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing that countries are supposed to be separate from religion. Religion and politics, they don't mix. And it should be a separation of church and state, right? That's what it's supposed to be. But then you go to Israel, the prerequisite for being Israeli is that you have to be a Jew. And it's a Jewish country, Jewish state. And that's fine. That's fine for them. And then when the Palestinians want to do the same thing, but they're Muslims, they can't do it. So there is a giant double standard, and there is a lot of violence, and there is a lot of militaristic forces and murders. Thousands of Palestinians have been murdered. Children have been murdered, and in these Gaza strips and in all these places, because they are being policed and being oppressed by the government of Israel, because Israel has been encroaching on the Palestinian lands for many, many, many years, and everybody knows it. And the Palestinians are being herded like cattle, just like the Nazis herded Jews onto the trains and into Auschwitz and into the camps to kill them. So the Israelis are no better than Nazis because they're doing the same thing. And then you got, you know, people um, people down in that part of the world, you know, the Israelis with nuclear weapons, but they don't want anybody to know that they have nuclear weapons, and everybody knows they have nuclear weapons. They don't allow anybody to inspect their weapons or inspect their military at all. But they want to see what Iran has, and they want to be all up in there, and they want to be all in the Kool-Aid. So there is a double standard because Israel is part of America, and America's um, brazen ego is exported to Israel. So these people feel emboldened to do everything, and they have a very good system. And I do applaud the Israelis because they take their children at age at 16, 17, 18, and they put them into military camps, and they show them what the military is like. And every Israeli has to serve at least 1 year in the military of their lives. So all Israelis are also veterans. And that gives them insight as to what their country is, what they're living and what they're fighting and what they're dying for. So it's a different world. It's a different world. But yeah, the news this week has gotten me so upset that I had to do this post about the terrorism going on in Paris and just all this crazy stuff going on, and now the Iranians are saying that they paid off a whole bunch of politicians to sign the Iranian deal. So the Iranian deal was in effect a slush fund for politicians all over the world, that they were giving them money to sign these deals. I don't believe it, but it's just that's the latest story that's coming out, and that the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal killed an article that was written to expose Trump and his ties to Russian mob bosses and the mafia. And that was, when he became president, that disappeared. That never made the light of day. Nobody knows anything about those reports. And they're hiding stuff from us. They're hiding information and they're hiding stuff from us. And what are we doing? What are we doing? That's the big question mark. What are we doing? Thanks for listening to my blog and my news. This has been the news over the news.